right, everybody. Welcome to our deep dive today. We're tackling financial preparedness. We'll be diving into 10 steps to help you feel super confident about your money.
Yeah.
And don't worry, we won't be drowning you in a sea of spreadsheets or anything like that.
Oh, no.
No confusing jargon, I promise. We're breaking these steps down into bite-sized pieces. Make it all make sense. And you know us, we'll sprinkle in some fun stories along the way, too.
Of course.
So let's kick things off with that all-important safety net, the emergency fund.
Yeah, the emergency fund. It's like your financial first aid kit, right?
Exactly.
It's there to help you deal with those unexpected things that life throws your way.
Oh, yeah.
Without completely derailing your whole financial plan.
Those oh no moments.
Exactly.
Like when your car decides it needs a major repair. Or a surprise medical bill lands in your lap.
Happens all the time.
But if you have that emergency fund, you could breathe a sigh of relief.
Right.
Knowing you've got a cushion to cover those costs.
Yeah, aim for about 3 to 6 months of living expenses in that emergency fund.
3 to 6 months. Okay.
That way, if, you lose your job or face a major expense, you have that time to recover.
Right.
Without having to resort to going into debt.
Without panicking.
Yeah, exactly. It's like peace of mind.
Peace of mind, bottled up.
Bottled up, ready to go.
Ready to go. Okay, so we've got our financial first aid kit all prepped. What's the next step on this journey of financial preparedness?
Budgeting.
Budgeting. Okay.
I know when some people hear that word budget, they think, oh no, restrictions.
Right.
But it's really not about that at all. It's actually about empowering yourself to make the choices that you want to make.
Yeah, it's about being intentional, right?
It actually helped me achieve a big financial goal, I'll have you know.
Really? Like what?
That trip to Italy I'd always dreamed of.
Wow, Italy. You budgeted your way to Italy.
I did. I started tracking my spending. And realized I was just kind of mindlessly throwing money at things I didn't really even care that much about. So I made some adjustments to my spending habits, started making some more conscious choices, and freed up enough money to make that trip a reality.
That's amazing. What a great example. So budgeting really is about being mindful of where your money's going.
Yes.
And making those intentional decisions.
Absolutely.
So how do you recommend people even get started with that?
Oh, it's easy. Just start by tracking your expenses for a month.
Just write it down.
Yeah, you can use an app. There's lots of budgeting apps.
Yeah.
You can use a spreadsheet if you're, into that sort of thing.
Spreadsheet guru.
Or even just a notebook, like old school,
Yeah.
Just get it all down on paper. And I think you'll be really surprised at what you discover once you actually see where your money's going.
Yeah, you might be shocked.
Then you can identify some areas where you can maybe cut back a little bit. And voila, you've got more resources.
More money to play with.
Exactly, to put towards the things that you actually care about.
Awesome. Okay, speaking of unexpected events and protecting ourselves, I think it's time we talk about insurance.
Oh, yes, insurance.
It's not the most thrilling topic, I'll admit,
Not the sexiest.
but definitely essential.
Essential, for sure.
It is.
Think of it like a financial umbrella, protecting you from those unforeseen downpours.
Downpours of life.
Downpours of life, that's a good one. Yeah, so you got health insurance, helps you manage those medical costs.
Right.
Life insurance, protects your loved ones financially if something were to happen to you. Disability insurance, that's a good one that people sometimes forget about.
Yeah, what's that one?
That replaces your income if you become unable to work for whatever reason.
Oh. Okay.
And then, the classics, auto insurance, home insurance, or renter's insurance, protecting your stuff.
Protecting all your valuable things.
Yeah, I hope you never need it.
But it's there when you do.
It's a lifesaver when you do, absolutely.
Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit to something that feels a bit further down the road. Retirement. I'll admit, I'm in my early 30s and it still feels like a lifetime away.
I know, it seems far off, but trust me, starting early with retirement planning is crucial. It's like planting a little financial seed that's going to grow into this mighty oak tree.
I like that visual.
Yeah, the sooner you start, the more time your money has to grow thanks to that magical thing called compound interest.
Okay, compound interest. Break that down for me.
It's like, your money earns interest, and then that interest earns interest on top of it. It creates this snowball effect over time.
Oh, so it just keeps building and building.
Exactly. It's pretty amazing. Like, for example, if you were to invest just $500 a month.
$500 a month?
Starting at age 25.
Okay.
You could potentially have over $1 million by the time you reach 65.
Wait, $1 million from just $500 a month?
That's the power of compound interest. It's incredible.
That's definitely motivating. So break down the different types of retirement accounts for me.
Okay, so the most common ones you'll hear about are 401ks and IRAs.
Okay, I've heard of those.
A 401k is usually offered through your employer, and a lot of times they'll even match a portion of your contributions, which is basically free money.
Free money, yes, please.
IRAs are individual retirement accounts, and those offer some really nice tax advantages.
Okay.
But really, the key takeaway here is to start early.
Got it.
Even if it's a small amount, just invest consistently.
Okay, good advice. Let's talk about a topic that I think a lot of people struggle with, debt.
Debt, yeah.
It can feel overwhelming, like this heavy weight holding you back.
Oh, absolutely. It's a common concern for sure. The key is to really focus on managing that high interest debt.
High interest, I would think.
Things like credit cards,
Yeah.
personal loans, those can really spiral out of control if you're only making those minimum payments.
Minimum payments, not good.
Not good. Yeah, there are a couple of popular methods that people use to tackle debt.
What are those?
One's called the debt snowball.
Debt snowball, okay.
The other one's called the debt avalanche.
Debt avalanche, right.
So the debt snowball method, it's all about focusing on paying off your smallest debts first,
Okay.
even if they don't have the highest interest rates.
So you get that sense of accomplishment.
Exactly. You get those little wins.
Knock them out one by one.
Yeah, get that momentum going.
And then debt avalanche is different.
That one prioritizes the debts that have the highest interest rates.
Okay.
So you're actually saving yourself the most money in the long run.
So snowball is more about the motivation,
Motivation, yeah.
seeing those small wins, and then avalanche. It's more about the math, right?
The math, exactly. It really just depends on what works for you. Find the strategy that you can stick with, and you'll be successful.
And you mentioned something earlier, too, about consolidating.
Oh, debt consolidation, yes. Or refinancing.
What are those?
Yeah, so those are options that can sometimes help you potentially lower those interest rates
Oh,
and simplify your payments, too, so you're not juggling a million different things.
one thing instead of 10. Got it.
Exactly.
All right, we've covered emergency funds, budgeting, insurance, retirement, and debt management. I think now we need to move on to something that many people find, I don't know, a little bit sensitive to talk about,
Yeah.
which is estate planning.
Estate planning. It's not the easiest topic to discuss, that's for sure.
Yeah,
But it's so important. It's about making sure that your wishes are honored
right.
and protecting your loved ones in case of incapacity.
Or, if something were to happen to you.
Yeah, in case of death.
So what are some of those essential elements that people should be aware of?
Well, the most important one is a will
A will, okay.
that outlines how you want your assets to be distributed after you're gone.
So who gets what?
Exactly. Who gets what? You also want to set up powers of attorney,
Powers of attorney, okay.
which allows someone that you trust to make financial and healthcare decisions for you. If you become unable to do so yourself,
So they can speak for you.
they can speak for you. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then trusts can be really valuable tools for protecting your assets
Yeah.
and managing inheritance.
So there are options there
Yeah, lots of
to
options.
protect your loved ones.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's dive into the world of investments.
Oh, yeah. Investments.
It can feel pretty intimidating, right?
It can.
There are just so many options out there.
So many options.
Where do you even start?
Remember that old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket?
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Oh, that's really the core principle of
That's
diversification.
diversification, okay.
It's all about spreading your investments across different asset classes.
So not putting all your money into one thing.
Exactly. Not putting all your money in one thing.
Okay.
You want to think about stocks.
Stocks.
Those are kind of your high energy growth players.
energy.
Yeah, they're the ones that have the potential for big gains.
Okay. High risk, high reward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then you got bonds. Those are your reliable defenders.
Bonds are more stable.
Stable, yeah, they provide that stability to your portfolio. And then real estate, that's like your steady base.
Real estate.
Yeah, so you're creating this well-rounded team.
A well-rounded team for your money.
Exactly. Got to coach them up, right? Make sure they're performing well.
So how do you coach your money team?
Well, you want to rebalance your portfolio periodically.
Rebalance.
So just to make sure that your investments are still aligned with your goals and your risk tolerance.
So checking in, making adjustments.
Making adjustments, yeah.
One thing that really stood out to me from all of our source material was the emphasis on education
Education, yes.
and skill development when it comes to personal finance.
Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your finances.
It's true.
Staying informed, continuing to learn new things, that's what's going to equip you to make smart decisions and avoid those common pitfalls that people fall into.
Yeah. So many resources out there.
Oh, there are so many resources. You got seminars, workshops, online courses, podcasts like this one, books, tons of books.
Even financial advisors.
Financial advisors, if you want that one-on-one help.
So it's really about finding what works for you.
Finding what works for you.
And continuing to grow that financial knowledge.
Exactly.
Okay, before we wrap up today, let's talk about setting those long-term financial goals.
Long-term, yes.
What should people be keeping in mind?
This is where you get to dream big. Think about your ideal financial future. Is it buying your dream home? Starting your own business?
Traveling the world.
Traveling the world, early retirement, whatever it is for you, once you have those goals in mind, it's so much easier to create a roadmap to actually get there.
So having those goals gives you something to aim for.
Exactly. It gives you something concrete to work towards.
But it's okay if those goals change along the way, right?
Absolutely. Life happens.
Life happens.
Things change. It's important to review and adjust your goals periodically as your life evolves.
So regular check-ins with your goals.
Regular check-ins with your goals. And speaking of regular checkups, remember that your finances need them too.
So just like you schedule those regular doctor's appointments,
Exactly.
you need to schedule financial checkups.
Make it a habit to monitor your accounts, review your credit reports, and consult with those financial professionals as needed.
Those professionals can help.
They can definitely help.
Okay, we've covered so much ground today. We talked about 10 crucial steps to really help you achieve financial preparedness.
Did it?
From building that emergency fund to setting those long-term goals and everything in between.
Yeah.
And remember, even those small steps can make a huge difference over time.
They really can. It's all about taking control of your financial well-being. Now that you've got these 10 steps in mind, what's one action, big or small, that you feel inspired to take today?
Yeah, what's your first step? That's it for a deep dive today. We'll see you next time.
See you later.